Welcome everyone to this channel about SimCity BuildIt. All Catalonia, all Spain is congratulating with the Barcelona City Mayor Pass. A minor version has arrived with some details to tell in this game update. This time it did come with Pride event, so the pass is not incomplete. And I didn't leave out that which came out in the previous version but was not activated until a few weeks ago. I said I would analyze it when it was already working, so let's get to it. My name is Atlantis, and I belong to the Isla Atlas Club. Let's start this analysis with a special mention to all those who have helped me to analyze this version in one way or another. Legionman, QuimCity, Sara, and Gaudí. With a special mention to INNUIKA. Greetings colleagues, thanks for your invaluable help. It is version 1.55.5, minor version of the game, dated June 14th, although it was available on Tuesday, June 25th, 2024. And although you are anxious to see Barcelona, I'm sure you are, I must start at the beginning by analyzing what was left pending in the previous review, which is the novelty of the ships. I said I would analyze it in the next version where it was available, and this is it. Starting with the interest of the novelty, I give it a 9. It certainly aroused interest because I'll tell you briefly, this ship, port thing, was a disappointment almost from the beginning, with only one ship in port and a brutal scale of the products that made it hardly interesting. And it was like that for many years. Then it improved, and we are talking about a few months ago, to have 2 ships in port. And now with this novelty, the interest that awakened was important, because there was the possibility of making the ships even more competitive and with a clear utility. If we look at the execution of the novelty, well, here I give it a 9. I do not give it a 10 because there are several people who tell me that they have problems with them. And mind you, we are not talking about the adaptability there was to move from the previous moment to the new ships. It was normal that in the 2 days after updating, the ships adapted to the new format of 5 possible shipments, and there are small bugs as far as graphics are concerned. But it is that adaptability of a novelty, it is not a bug. But what I'm talking about is people who can't see them even if they have updated. At least at the beginning of the update of the ships in the port and after the period I just explained. I understand that the failures have been minimal or have affected few people, but this is why I cannot give a 10 here. If we move on to the next characteristic, the impact of the novelty, well, it has been a good impact. It has improved the playability and generates a sense to the ships that hardly existed before, let alone years ago, and gives the possibility of acquiring the so precious special items of the game with your effort, not waiting for gifts and chance to make an appearance. Now to get golden keys or storage items, there is a place where, with your effort, you get them. This also gives meaning to the ships in the same way that the train commercial building offers the possibility of buying special items and partly gave meaning to the trains. Now, the fact that in the port you can get a special item every 6 hours is very, very good for everyone. And it also allows you to spend up to 2 days to get what the shipment needs. I think they've really hit the nail on the head. Obviously, the ships will demand more as you go along, but it really gives us all a break, and as I said, it adds incredibly to the game experience. So, with everything I have explained about the ships, it is time to give a real assessment of the novelty impact. So, here, I give it an 8. The next characteristic, pre-novelties, I cannot value it because I don't know any that will be available. So we go directly to the next section, changes to the user. And here we enter the Mayor's Pass, dedicated this time to Barcelona. They subtitle it Mediterranean Wonder. In the Mayor's Pass, I give it a 10. Look, just to see the Sagrada Familia in my city is worth the pass. But Barcelona has a lot of interesting buildings, and in my opinion, They could have taken even more juice to Barcelona. But anyway, I hope that in the coming events there will be some pleasant surprises to complete the pass apart from the confirmed El Palau de la Música Catalana, but I hope they make the most of Barcelona. Let's not fool ourselves, the mayor's pass is excellent. There is La Rambla de Barcelona, La Pedrera by the architect Antoni Gaudi, Park Güell also by Antoni Gaudi, La Plaza de Catalunya, the Cathedral of the Sea, and the culmination, obviously, is the majestic Sagrada Familia, which I'm sure I'm putting some spectacular image here as I speak. And look, we compare this pass of Barcelona with the previous pass of Route 66 and oh my god, there is no comparison. And I'm not saying this because I'm Spanish and of course I defend Barcelona. It's just that the majesty of Barcelona, the diversity of buildings, the grandeur that gives this pass is not given by a pass like Route 66. And remember that I especially like Route 66, but things as they are. Talking about the pass itself, it is completed by levels with rewards similar to the usual passes, except for the Club War cards, which in this pass brings 10 cards of Plant Monster and 40 of Shrink Ray in the Premium Pass, and 10 more cards of B-Movie Monster in the Premium Plus. The cards in the Premium Pass are questionable. The ones in the Premium Plus are very good, although I always tell you they are a bit scarce. Everyone can choose what suits them depending on how far they can go, and their wallet, of course. The Premium Plus Pass is not suitable for everyone, only for the very gamer, as it requires a good pass in the 4 weeks it lasts. Regarding the next feature, the event, this time it is about Pride Week, and nothing to object, only that the event seems to me a little weak. An edification that says very little at first glance. Maybe I'll change my mind when I put it on, but between what it brings and how weak the edification is, I give it a 10. Look, I think they could have taken a little more care, but there is an event, which is important. Sometimes there is not even one. And I know that the next events also have buildings of Barcelona that will complete it in some way. I don't know all the ones that are going to be, but I know that the Palau de la Música Catalana is going to be there. And for this reason, the event, which always has a 10, this time even more so. And we come to a characteristic that will surprise you, the playability. We have already seen that with the ships, the playability has increased a lot. In playability, I give it a 1. Hey, Atlantis, have you gone crazy? Have you lost your mind? Is your missing neuron failing you? Well, maybe. That's because it's infected by Dr. Wu. No, you will see. It is that now it was time to analyze the playability, and it would have been a 10 without a doubt if I had analyzed only the novelty of the port. But now we will talk about the game improvements, moving automatically to the next section, fixes and improvements. And with nothing to analyze in bug fixes, I analyzed the game improvements characteristic. What was the game improvement? The improvement of the game, because it is not a novelty, has been the grotesque old restoration agency that came out many years ago. A commercial building that manages to have a pack of bad, ugly and expensive products that, in addition, as if this were not enough, become fixed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this commercial building, I thought it was going to be temporary, but it is not. It has become fixed and we are going to eat it with potatoes. I don't know if this analogy is valid in English, but what I want to say is that it is something that, whether we like it or not, is going to be with us from now on. Do you think that's all? I always have a few surprises for you, as it could not be otherwise. To finish it all off, so that the developers give us gamers a good kick in the is it possible to say on YouTube? I might get banned for the video, so that the developers give us a good kick in the balls or ovaries, depending on the genre. The developers have generated some com tasks that increase the difficulty according to the level of experience of your city. This, which seems nothing new, with the restoration agency generates an incredible expenditure of resources to do tasks of the contest of mayors of 1200 points, 1500 points Plumbob. There are others of greater value, but is that the storage has lost much performance even with its expansion, because it is that they have put us 3 commercial buildings in less than a year. This is what we call a big botched job. Let's see what score I give this last feature of game improvements. I give it a 0. Are you surprised? I'm sure you weren't surprised. Of course, now you will understand that the playability has a 1. No matter how well they have done the ships, they have given us something good for the ships and many bad things, with the restoration agency and the difficulty of the com. But it is also a change of the moment, so there is no time to plan a good strategy on this. And I could have made a camping strategy a little before the level where I am, because at level 67 the tapestries of the restoration agency are enabled, which forces me to invest 250,000 simoleons just for the sake of it. So it would have been a little analysis and that's it. But it's a nonsense to have to pay 250,000 simoleons for the first upgrade of the commercial building, and then 450,000 simoleons for the second one. It's a savagery. If I could put negative points I would. Anyway. And this is the end of the analysis of this version, because it turns out that each of the following characteristics I cannot analyze, neither graphics nor bugs of the version, because I have not found something that is fine or other bugs. And I don't have anything else to add in the other section either, so I'm sorry that the magnificent Barcelona Mayor's Pass, with all its spectacularity, is diminished by these mental blunders of the developers. So finally, there have been 47 total points divided by 7 characteristics analyzed is 6.71 points of total score. A very weak version, only saved by the novelty, which really is from the previous version, and by the spectacular Mayor's Pass of Barcelona. Otherwise this version fails for sure. All this in Discord was already posted almost from the same day the update came out, so I invite you to join. Discord is like a Telegram or a WhatsApp, saving the distances that Discord is tremendously better, and there you can make use of the intelligence of Dr. Vu to solve your doubts about the game. Enjoy Barcelona, enjoy the game. See you at SCBI. Greetings to all.